Hello, happy Sunday. Sunday fun day. Welcome into Let's Bet It. Lawrence Barr here with Jared Smith. Jared, we had the 3-point contest. We had the dunk show last night.
The
Your
dunk show.
overall thought. The dunk show.
It's more like a donkey show. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. The 3-point contest was fun. I think that's become the premier event of All-Star Weekend. Steph Curry last year won it. Trae Young was in the finals. Karl Anthony Towns, the long shot, takes home the title. Hopefully somebody was listening yesterday when I said just based off the number alone, he deserves a flyer at 12-1. But the dunk contest, we need to have like a seance. We need to have like an intervention with the dunk contest.
What do you think? Because how many opportunities do these guys have to dunk the ball? Like, is there an unlimited amount of chances?
Unless it's like what's the difference between our producer Justin and it was talking about this beforehand. Like, it's like the difference between a catch and an incompletion in the NFL. Like, we don't know. Like, if your arm's coming forward, then it's an attempt. But if you lose possession of the ball before your arm comes forward, then it's not an attempt. Like, who freaking knows what it is and what it isn't? Feel free to drop some suggestions in the chat on how you would change the dunk contest. Here's how I would change the dunk contest. You need to so it's all-star weekend. It's not all role player weekend. No offense to Juan Toscano Anderson or Obi Toppin, but
who won, by the way?
Yeah, and it's great. The Knicks finally won something. Mazel tov, hallelujah. But these guys are not stars. They are role players. And we need to I don't care how much money, the NBA is just, there's money flying down from the rafters. Get LeBron, get Giannis, get Ja Morant, get one of these guys in the All-Star weekend festivity.
I mean, even John Collins from the Hawks too, right? Like, he's had some massive dunks this season.
And he's a starter and a borderline all-star. Like, it is all-star weekend. It is not all role player weekend. And these guys are great players, and I take nothing away from their talents. They are immensely more talented than any other basketball human in their wildest dreams, except for the 0.1% of players above them that are much, much more talented. Those are the guys we need to get in all-star weekend dunk contest festivities. That's how you fix the dunk contest. Or you throw back to the past. This was another idea that I saw floated around Twitter the other day or last night that I thought was interesting. You have like a wheel, and the guy spins the wheel, and on the wheel are like all the classic dunks of all time. Vince Carter's underneath the legs, or MJ from the foul line, and all those classic dunks that won dunk contest years ago. They have to repeat that dunk. I think that's a decent idea. Or you get one of these YouTube and one sensations to come in and just go bonkers, like do crazy shit, and then have the NBA guys try to match that. But we got to spice it up here. It's absurd that this is what the dunk contest has become.
He needs to put a little spice in it. We'll see. We'll see what happens next year. You should put it in the suggestion box, Jared, and see if they change things up for you next year.
I'm sure they get two craps about what I think.
Well, we do have the All-Star game today, which is going to be really exciting. Team KD, who is not playing, going up against Team LeBron. We're going to break that all down, our best bets for the game. College basketball predictions. There's quite a few games going on today on this Sunday fun day. We have NHL Ice Picks. I think I got a pretty spicy one. Jared's Kick Picks. We're taking it across the pond. And then we can't end without our Pickswise 3-star play of the day and our best bets of the day. So let's get into it, my friend. NBA All-Star game. Team KD going up against Team LeBron. I am not betting the spread in this game because 6 just seems like a lot for the style of play that they play in the All-Star game. But I am betting the over because even if it was 400, over. Always over. How do you feel about this game?
Isn't it the Elam ending again?
Yes.
Yes. So the Elam ending is interesting because they set a target score in the end. So the total, I think, has a little less value because of that.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know what that target score is going to be. It's not like they're fouling in the end. But to be fair, this is not a numbers game when you're betting on the All-Star game. Just like last night, you want to have some fun and put some sprinkles on this. Yeah. Totally fair. But if you're making like significant more than one unit on this game,
Then no.
I would reassess your strategy.
No. Yeah,
I was
no.
looking through the rosters. So
Yep.
Team Durant, I'll be honest, to me that's the team. KD, Embiid, Ja, who
KD's not playing.
I know, but it's still his team. Wait,
Over Giannis, Steph, DeMar DeRozan, LeBron, and Nikola Jokic, that's like 5 of the best guys in the NBA without KD playing.
It's fair, actually.
Right?
Right. You're actually right.
I know.
LeBron. So Team LeBron's the favorite. I see 5.5. Let's look at, but here's the thing though, like those guys are going to be on the floor for the fourth quarter. Then you got, I do think the reserves. Let's look at the reserves. Jared Allen. So full disclosure.
You got LaMelo Ball, Devin Booker, Gobert, on KD. Jared Allen.
This is
Luka,
the first time I've even
James
looked at these
Harden,
rosters.
James Harden is not playing probably. Is
James Harden
playing?
Yeah, Harden's not playing. Good call on KD not playing. I totally would. I'm so bad. I'm like not in NBA mode right now. I'm so upset with NBA after last night. I don't know. I feel like that KD reserve squad's pretty good. LaMelo, Booker, Middleton, Towns won the 3-point contest.
Yeah.
Who I think I would be willing to take a crack at the MVP. I like Justin, our producer Justin thought it was Ja would be a decent spot for the MVP.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
I think that's solid.
I was actually talking to my dad about this yesterday. So I'm in Florida right now. We're sitting on the beach. I was chatting with my dad about who we think is going to be the All-Star MVP because these are the conversations I have with my father, which I love. Jason Tatum, we were chatting a little bit about. So it's going to be a player on the team that wins, obviously, right? And so I think I am leaning towards LeBron's team to win, obviously. But if KD's team wins, Tatum's good because you look for a guy that's a streaky shooter that can put up a couple points. Why not? A good outside pick.
Steph. He's on Team LeBron. He's at 9-1.
Yeah.
Steph
is 9-1. Wow.
Steph is not. I'm on MGM. I mean, it might be different I would obviously shop these numbers around for sure. But 9-1. Luka's at 10-1. He's on the other team though, I think. No, he's on Team LeBron too. Wow. Team LeBron is so good that Luka Doncic is a reserve.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, LeBron's team. You're right. LeBron's team is winning.
I know. That's why there's 5.5, 6-point favorites on most.
Absolutely, LeBron's team is winning this game. I wouldn't lay points, but you're totally spot on. Giannis, Steph, LeBron, Jokic, and then Luka off the bench. Yikes. That's scary.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. I will say though, so the total right now, 323.5. That total only went over the 322 number in one of the last 4 All-Star games, and neither of the last 2 with the current format with the Elam ending. But I like over, baby. I want to see points. I want to see dunks. I want to see guys flying. I want to see like freaking someone like Dirty Dancing another guy up to the basket. Like I want to see it all. Like let's go.
You're gonna get better dunks tonight than you got probably in the dunk contest last night. Yeah, I think,
fun fact for you: the last center to win MVP was 2009 when Shaq won co-MVP with Kobe.
I could see Giannis going crazy.
So
Didn't he just have like a
LeBron wins,
game
Giannis could
right
be a
before
good
the
bet.
break?
Yeah.
Yeah, Giannis is a freak.
Yeah.
LeBron, I can see LeBron like showing you his coaching skills tonight.
There's no way LeBron loses this game. There's no way LeBron.
No, yeah, you're right. You are 100% right. I'm drunk off of my coffee just for even suggesting that.
Got a little Bailey's in there, maybe.
Yeah, I got a little Kahlua in there this morning. No, I would say Steph, Giannis, LeBron, Doncic would be the 4 guys I would corner for MVP, and then you pick 1 or 2 that you like, and hopefully you hit one of them. Very good analysis that you picked the winning team, and it's not a surprise that so it looks like 4 out of the top 6 guys on the MVP odds board are all on Team LeBron. So that's kind of the direction that the odds are kind of putting you in there.
Forwards have won the MVP in each of the last 5 All-Star games. The last guard to win was in 2016 when Russell Westbrook won his 2nd in a row. So pretty interesting. So forwards are kind of the favorite right now, and a center obviously, like I said, hasn't won since 2009. So we'll see how it plays out tonight. It's going to be a fun All-Star game. Total, would you take the over or the under in this one with the Elam ending?
You can't bet the under in an All-Star game.
You can't.
Like that's.
You want to see it all.
That's over. Insanity.
Over.
Either you bet the over or you don't bet the total. Like,
Yeah.
who would want to watch a game
one.
where your bet is points happening in fewer amounts and the guys are literally like Harlem Globetrottering, like no defense is being played in this game until the fourth quarter. Then
Well,
defense.
speaking of the Hawks game that I worked the other night, the Harlem Globetrotters were there, and they put the balls on my fingers, and they were both spinning on both fingers. I've never done that before in my life. It was so cool, and I think I peaked. It's only downhill from there. So
yeah, definitely. I would have wanted to see them on your finger a little longer. They flew
okay, I got all stressed and nervous, and I just didn't stay still enough. I was like, oh my God.
Remind me not to let you operate on my open heart surgery.
It was so funny. Also, before I was doing sports broadcasting, I was pre-med. Would you ever trust me to do surgery on anybody? No.
What was
Even like that board game, the child operation, I never won that game. Like you always got zizzed down the
would you
side.
want to be pre-med? What about? I cannot see you. You have way too much flair and energy.
Yeah.
Doctors have
like, are you ready for surgery?
Oh my God, it's surgery time, guys.
Over under on if this one makes it out.
Under on surgeries. Over though on Jabal Star weekend, which is Justin's on fire today, our producer. I need that on. I need your favorite shirt with a star and a basketball. Like,
you love to see it
today.
Absolutely love to see it. Okay, let's take it from men to boys. Men to boys. A lot of college basketball games on today. One of the big marquee games, Providence taking on Butler. Right now, the spread is at 3.5. Providence coming off of that tough road loss to Nova. They were on an 8-game win streak before that. They need to bounce back. What do you expect from this game? Because this spread seems really, really just not right for a number 8 team taking on a team that's under 500.
Yeah, and you're going to see a lot of people bet Providence today, I'm sure. I think,
including me.
That's where I was going with that one. So Providence is like this enigma wrapped in a riddle.
I want to know, what is their luck score on Ken Palm? Because they are one of the luckiest teams.
It's absurd. They are the luckiest
teams in NCAA basketball.
Not only that, so Shot Quality, which is like this analytics-based company that grades how the quality of the shots that you're taking, and then compares it to the quality of the other team's shots, and it kind of tells what the final score should have been without luck. And Providence is 20-3 on the year, but their shot quality win-loss record, based off of what the analytics say, they're like a 500 team at like 13-10. So eventually it will regress. Does that mean it's going to happen today? I don't know. Butler has other issues that they're dealing with. They just got spanked the other day by St. John's. And their best player, one of their best players, their senior guard, Bo Hodges, still dealing with an injury. That status matters. I think the line will drift towards Providence if he doesn't play. I don't know if he's going to play. The game's in 2-3. I think it's a 1 o'clock game, right?
Yeah.
1 o'clock. So we'll find out in a couple hours if he plays. I personally am not betting it. It looks like the line is creeping towards Providence. That doesn't surprise me. Maybe that's because of the Hodges news. Maybe that's just because Providence is 20-3 and they're laying, 2 possessions basically against the Butler team that has been, for lack of a better word, pretty average this year. Not a lot of high-profile wins. Nice win over Marquette at home, but for the most part, all of their wins have been against the bottom-tier teams in the Big East. And they've lost, again, that loss to St. John's on Friday, 91-57. I mean, that was a spanking.
That was a really bad, and the spread was 9. The spread was 9 for that.
That was a spanking. So tough to back Butler because of the injury to their best guard and because of what just happened. But also, I don't feel comfortable laying with Providence on the road. So pass for me here.
Here's the thing, is I do feel comfortable laying the points with Providence on the road. I just feel like Hinkle Fieldhouse is not the house of horrors that it once was, right? The line just looks the line looks too close to me with the eighth ranked team taking on a team that's under 500. Providence is the better scoring team. They're averaging 111.1 points per 100 possessions. Butler's only 102.4. And then I was also looking, Butler has scored fewer than 63 points in 11 of their 14 losses. Providence allows an average of 65-ish points per game, but Providence has averaged 60 points in their 3 losses. I just have a good feeling that on the road, they're going to be able to show up. And I know that home court advantage is a big thing in college basketball, especially because it's like you get your crowd, you get your students all coming in. But I just think that Providence, with that tough loss to Nova, they're really going to want to bounce back. They won earlier in the season versus Butler. They know what they have to do. And I also think the last game that they played against Butler, the Friars out-rebounded them 33-30. I think they're going to take advantage of the boards in this game. I think they're going to bounce back. They want to keep themselves in the conversation for a 2 seed in March. And I think that this is their opportunity to kind of do that. So we'll see what happens. 3.5 just seems like a really short spread for me.
Yeah, I'm looking at that box score now, January 23rd at the Dunk. Great name for an arena. I don't know. Dunkin' Donuts Center. See, you're probably a Hortons guy. I prefer.
I'm a Tim Hortons gal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not a guy. I apologize. Dunkin' Donuts. I'm more of a Tim Hortons guy. I prefer Hortons to Dunkin' for sure. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
I'm on a tangent this morning. I don't know. I'm in one.
Yeah, it's okay. Hey, we're having a day.
So that box score looks pretty fishy to me. Butler only made 5 out of 23s. And you're right. They basically finished even on the rebounding battle, and they lost by 7 on the road. Yes, they can keep it close against Providence. If they make 6 out of 23, or excuse me, if they make 7 out of 23s, which is like 30%-ish, they cover and they lose by 1. So I do think Butler has a chance to keep this close, but it's tough to step in front of the Providence train. They are sleeping with angels, as they say.
Butler's only held Big East opponents to less than 60 points in 3 of their 16 matchups. So that's also something to note too. So Providence could take advantage. It's going to be a good game. I know we're going dumpster diving in a second, but 2 more bigger games that we're going to get to. Michigan, my Wolverines taking on Wisconsin. I just cannot back my alma mater in this one, Jared.
No?
I can't do it. I can't do it. What are you expecting to happen? What are you expecting to happen? Again, like I'm saying, home court advantage. It's a really big thing in college basketball. And knowing how Wisconsin is, especially for football, their basketball crowd's going to show up, even though Michigan's been thriving down the stretch.
Isn't this game in football, don't they play it for like an axe? Is this the Paul Bunyan axe game?
Or whatever? No, that's Paul Bunyan. Isn't that Michigan State?
I have no idea. They have so many absurd like trophies and all kinds of crap in the Big Ten. All right, so Michigan, in my opinion, probably deserves to be like this line's probably right at 2.5, 3.
Yeah.
The bet that I would make here, and I made it last night, and the futures market, as you know, is my best friend. Johnny Davis, and by the way, this is a Jim Root special here. Johnny Davis, he actually texted me last night. He's like, you need to bet this now before he drops 40 today and the line moves. Johnny Davis to win the Wooden Award at 14-1. So Johnny Davis is like the star guard for Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wisconsin. And so the Wooden Award is typically given to a player on a team that's like a 1 or a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. The favorite right now is Oscar Tshiebwe, who's the big man for Kentucky. Why that is unique is since 1980, only 3 big men have won this award that have been averaging less than 18 points per game, which Tshiebwe is more of a rebounder. Tshiebwe. And he's only averaging like 15, 16 points per game. The 3 guys that won the award averaging less than 18 were Anthony Davis, who blocked like 1 million shots per game. That's not Tshiebwe. Elton Brand and TJ Ford. So Oscar's kind of a outlier in this award to be the favorite. And Johnny Davis is, to me, like the best scoring guard in the country right now that plays on a high-profile team. And if Wisconsin wins this game, and if they get to that 2 seed line, and if Davis continues to thrive, I think at 14-1, Jim is adamant about this, that price will drastically change between now and, let's say, the first week of March. So if you're going to make a bet on this game, I would look to the futures market, and I would look to Johnny Davis. I saw this number at DraftKings last night, 14-1 to win the Wooden Award. That's how I would play this game. And again, you're not playing this game specifically. You're kind of dancing around the game. But if Wisconsin wins and Davis has a big one and they continue to play well down the stretch, that number will drastically change over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not backing my alma mater on this spot, and I'm taking Wisconsin laying the points. I know Michigan needs this statement win to get back into bubble conversation. They've been thriving down the stretch, 3-1 in their last 4 games, 8-6 now in Big Ten play, and they covered the spread in 3 of their last 5 games. But Wisconsin is an extremely tough road environment. I think their defense is going to prove to be the difference. Home team laying the points. Lock it in right now, Wisconsin. And that's a lot for me to go against and fade my alma mater. You know that. You know that's tough.
Yeah, you are a heart better.
You know that's tough.
With that ticker.
But Wisconsin, this is Wisconsin's place. This is Wisconsin's home. They're going to take advantage.
I could see you fitting in well in Wisconsin, though. You like cheese and wine,
I do.
right?
Half of my diet is cheese, I will say. Like, I would sit there and eat a block of cheese. I don't know. We're cool. I don't know. Yeah.
That's how they roll.
To be honest with you, I actually used to own a cheese head, like when I was younger. Had one of those actual. My dad, where did you get the cheese head?
Let's get Mr. Jabbar get an appearance on the show.
Dad, do you want to make an appearance on the show?
No, I'm good.
He's good, he says.
What does he think on the Michigan-Wisconsin game?
Dad, what do you think on the Michigan-Wisconsin game? We'll get your pick.
Yeah, I'm not a Michigan fan. But
he's not a Michigan fan, he says.
Really?
I'll take Wisconsin at home.
John Davis, baby.
Daddy-daughter bet. Let's do it.
Daddy-daughter bet. Oh, see, now I want to have a daughter just so I can have a daddy-daughter.
Now that you guys can bet together.
It's right out. Hey, honey, we're betting on Wisconsin today.
Yeah, I know. As I said, like we were talking about who's going to win All-Star MVP yesterday on the beach, so it's fine. These are the conversations. We love to see it. Another big game going on tonight, Purdue taking on Rutgers. Remember the last time that these 2 teams played, it came right down to the wire. I was on Purdue that night. Rutgers ended up pulling out the victory. But December 9th, Rutgers 70, Purdue 68. Enough said. Revenge factor for Purdue. But at the same time, the spread's 12.5 or 12. It's kind of been moving between 12 and a half. That's a lot of points to be laying if you're betting Purdue. Don't you think?
What has gotten into Rutgers? They've won 4 straight games against ranked teams.
Yeah.
I mean, good luck explaining that.
I don't
This is a team that lost to Minnesota earlier in the year, to Penn State by 17, to Lafayette at home, to UMass. I mean, this is a team that started the year 3-3, 5-5 after 10 games. You know, average start in the Big Ten. They were 6-5 after an overtime loss to Northwestern back on February 1st. And then they just went into like Scarlet Knight mode, like activated, like Power Rangers mode. It was crazy. 4 straight wins: Michigan State, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Illinois.
It's crazy.
They cannot keep that up, right? Tough spot at Mackey today against Purdue. Purdue's a really tough team. They're big, they're long, they're athletic. They've got the number 1 offensive efficiency in the country. Purdue's going to win this game. Are they going to win it by double digits?
I don't think that they're going to win by double digits. That's a big number. It's a big number.
It is. And you would think that the numbers would catch up to Rutgers eventually. The one thing they've got going for them is they're a top 40 defensive efficiency squad, so maybe they can keep this one within the number, but I just don't see them going to Mackey and scoring a whole lot against this just behemoth Purdue front line. Ron Harper Jr. also questionable. Again, the college basketball injuries are very, very tough to differentiate because they don't really give out a lot of info, but I did see that his status was up in the air. I would absolutely not bet this game until I knew if their best scorer, Ron Harper Jr., was playing.
So I'm not on this game right now because that spread is just too much for me to bet. I want to see a good game. Rutgers have allowed less than 70 points in 14 of their last 15 games. And in each loss, Purdue only scored at least 68 points. So that's something interesting to look out for. But I honestly think Purdue's going to win this game. I don't think they're going to win by 12. So Rutgers and the points could be a good spot here. I think I'm still not on this game, but that is how I would bet it if I was betting it. So you have a few dumpster dive games for us, though.
So today is Horizon Week Sunday.
Let's dive deep in the dumpster.
Sunday. Have you ever been to? Well, you've worked at Oakland before. I know that.
Yeah.
So you know these teams very well. Oakland today is hosting Northern Kentucky. And the Norse, I've been like, first of all, tremendous mascot name, Norse. I've been on this Northern Kentucky bandwagon for a while now. So they've won 9 of their last 11. Their 2 losses in that stretch are both to Detroit Mercy. So they're like the best team in the horizon when they're not facing Detroit Mercy for some reason. Well, guess what? They're not facing Detroit Mercy today. They're facing the Grizzlies of Oakland. They beat
a little
Oakland,
bit further north.
A little further north. They beat Oakland by 9 in overtime the last time they faced each other. And I like this is I like teams that fit Northern Kentucky's profile. They turn it over a little too much for my liking, but they create a ton of extra possessions because they're top 20 in offensive rebounding percentage and they're top 60 in forcing turnovers. So they don't shoot it that well, but they force a lot of they get themselves a lot of extra possessions in the game because they're good on the glass and they're tough on defense. They force a lot of turnovers. And the Grizzlies are sputtering a bit down the stretch. They started 9-1 in the Horizon League. And
I lost my bet on them the other night too at home.
They're kind of playing a little bit of, they were hot as hell and now they're cold. So I got 6.5 with Northern Kentucky. I thought that was a favorable number for me to get 6.5 points with a team that they just beat them the other day. And they get a lot of extra possession. So I think the numbers are consistently wrong on Northern Kentucky. Wright State is another one that I really like. I love this Wright State team. So they today they are at Detroit Mercy. And they beat Mercy 90-59, like 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Total blowout, like a hellacious blowout. Mercy's coming off that nice win against Northern Kentucky, but I think it's like a different animal. So Northern Kentucky doesn't shoot it well. They're good on the glass. They're tough. They force a lot of extra possessions. Wright State, not a very tough team, but they shoot the lights out. And they don't turn it over either. And so I think Wright State's going to present a very different challenge for Mercy today. I like that their top 3 players on Wright State are all upperclassmen. They've been with the team for 3 years plus. And Mercy really struggles to score. 285th in defending, shooting, and they're not good at shooting it themselves either. So to me, offensively, I think Wright State, it's just a bad matchup for Mercy in this game. And I laid 1 with Wright State. The other game I'll mention, and this should just be a hellacious blowout, Cleveland State, who I think is the best team in the Horizon League. There's going to be one of these teams that
I love all these Horizon League picks, by the way.
It's Horizon League Sunday. We are dubbing this Horizon League Sunday. I bet on all 4 games in the Horizon League today. I love this Cleveland State. I think they're the best team in the Horizon League. I think they'll probably be in the final. And if they do make it to the final, they're going to give a team problems in the NCAA tournament if they win that tournament. Because they're a really good shooting team, top 50 in effective field goal percentage. Their only issue to me is turnovers, but that's not going to be an issue today against Green Bay, who, other than IUPUI, Green Bay is like the worst team in the Horizon League. They are awful. And Cleveland State plays the fastest tempo in the nation. They just run and run and run. I'm laying 9.5 with Cleveland State.
It's a lot of points. I like it.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm either going to do really well or really bad in the Horizon League today. But we'll see. So I'll give you the 3. So there's 4 Horizon League games today. I have 3 now. Cleveland State minus 9.5. Northern Kentucky plus 6.5. Wright State minus 1. We'll save 1 for play of the day. I am on all 4 today, though.
Okay.
We'll save the last one.
I like it. I know I want to get into NHL, but that's also my best bet of the day. So do I wait or do I talk about it now?
No, let's go over the NHL board because I have some curious thoughts on the NHL board. And I'm curious your thoughts on too.
Okay, please hit me with it. What do you got?
So the most fascinating game in the NHL today is the Wild at the Oilers.
Yeah.
So the Oilers played last night, and I really thought it was. So they've been on fire since Woodcroft took over as head coach.
So well.
It's insane. I think they've played 5 games. They've won all 5. And I think in all 5 games, they've scored 3 or more and have allowed 3 or less. So, I don't know what it is, but the Oilers have woken up. But now they face the Wild, who are a good team in their own right. They're at home, Edmonton, which is good. But they're coming off that back-to-back. They played Winnipeg last night. The Wild are fresh, and you would expect, based off of how well the Oilers have been playing, that the line would be Edmonton as a favorite. It's kind of a pick 'em, and I see the odds kind of drifting towards the Wild a little bit. So is this the day that the Oilers' streak finally comes to an end? I think, yes, there will be some regression there. I just don't know when. Tough to catch a falling knife. And I think
To be honest with you,
yeah.
my internet is so bad right now. I don't know what just happened.
You froze for a minute, and I like my heart jumped.
No, I'm good. I'm here. I'm still here.
Did you
I'm
hear
still
anything?
alive. I'm thriving.
Did you hear anything?
I heard a little bit about it, but I know about this game. I mean, I've been looking at
Is
it.
today
for
that the day
possibly
the Oilers
better-
streak ends? That's the question.
I honestly believe that it is. The
Okay.
Wild are really, really good. Oh, but here's the thing: the Oilers are playing at home. I don't think that I don't think that it ends tonight. This is basically a pick 'em game. The Oilers have been solid offensively. Honestly, the thing that was worrying me for a while about the Oilers is the depth of their team. Obviously, their top line is amazing with McDavid, Draisaitl, all those guys, but it's like the depth of the offensive scoring wasn't necessarily trickling down. For the Wild, they do have a little bit more depth. They've figured it out. Like the Wild have become a team that's weirdly really good in the West. And it's like no one expected that a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, is when they kind of started like really shining. And it's like, where does this team come from? But I honestly think the Oilers take advantage on home ice tonight. They figured it out. They've just figured it out. And when a team figures it out, they know. If this game was in Minnesota, I would say definitely the Wild are going to win. Minnesota. I would say definitely the Wild are going to win. Minnesota is like one of the best teams at home this season.
They are.
So I like the Oilers in this spot if you're going to do it. Why
the
not?
line movement says Wild.
Really?
But I would say the momentum says Oilers. But that's that could be tough. Oh wow, that was a really nice goal. Manchester United just scored a cracker of a goal. I'm getting a lot of hate in the chat. Getting a lot of hate in the chat. Not a lot of hate, but one individual does not like my soccer picks from yesterday. Dude, trust me. I know they were bad. I know. I bet them. My bankroll went. You don't have to remind me, bro. I get it. I'm not trying to lose. Maybe they'll be better today. Maybe you can fade them.
You know what? They can't be worse. So
can't be worse. Impossible to be worse.
It's true. It is true. Well, I'm looking at some of the other games on the slate. Like obviously the Rangers taking on the Sens. I think the Rangers are a lock in that one. Panthers taking on the Blackhawks. Panthers are a lock in that one. I just like to find some of these games with better value. Like I like finding my plus money value, especially betting NHL games. So I always try to look for that three-way money line kind of a vibe. The Stars taking on the Coyotes. The Stars are a lock. Sabres, Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets kind of suck this season. I like the Sabres in that spot. And Golden Knights, Sharks. The Golden Knights are on a freaking tear right now. I like them. The other game I'm talking about, but I'll save it for my best bet of the day, is the Hurricanes taking on the Pens.
I like your look today. I struggled like you. I struggled to find value on the NHL board today.
Yeah,
because
it's a lot of good teams taking on a lot of bad teams.
Yes, I think the Rangers are in a good spot because Ottawa played yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you want a good value there, Rangers three-way money line would probably be the best spot.
Yeah, it's so tough. So Ottawa played.
I don't like it enough to bet the puck line in that spot.
Yeah, the Sens played an overtime game last night in Boston, and I'm not a geography guy when it comes to Canadian geography, but Boston to Ottawa's a relatively difficult trip, right?
It's like an hour and a half. It's not that bad.
All right, it's not that bad. You would know better than me. You've made those trips before.
Yeah, I made those trips before.
So you get back home and you play an overtime game.
Sitting there waiting.
Yeah, exactly. The Rangers probably got into town before the Senators did last night. So I would say the Rangers, if you want to get frisky with them, would be a decent spot at Ottawa tonight, and especially if it's Shesterkin in net. I mean, he's just such a beast.
Yeah, it is.
And I have seen that line move a little bit towards the Rangers, but again, you're laying $2 for a road favorite.
That's what I'm saying. What's the three-way money line value right now?
Probably minus 120-ish.
Yeah, that's better. I like that better.
Yeah, like usually and this is for the numbers nerds out there. When a favorite's like minus 200, usually like minus 110, minus 120 is what the three-way money line should be. Sometimes the books get those prices wrong. So, you're your own,
Keep your eyes out.
checker. Yeah, I'm seeing minus 125 on MGM for the Rangers 3 money line. I think that's a fair bet. Let's see if DraftKings usually is a little bit cheaper. No, minus 125. FanDuel tends to be the most expensive. Actually, here's one for you too. I had a buddy tweet me this last night. The Panthers and the Flames. Those are the two teams that we really like. I really like in the futures market. A parlay, Panthers, Flames, both to make it to the Stanley Cup final, is 50-1.
Wow, I actually like that.
50-1. By the way, the Flames won again last night at home.
On fire, pun intended.
On fire. All right, I got the three-way for the Rangers. On FanDuel, it's minus 130. So it looks like minus 125 is the best price you'll get there for the Rangers.
Okay.
I would consider that tonight. I haven't bet it.
I think it's a good bet. That is a good. I think it's a lot, to be honest with you.
That's solid.
One more question before we get to your kick picks. Eric in the chat wants to know if Northern Kentucky is still playable at +5. What do you think?
Yeah, they bet that one down pretty hot, huh? You can't find a 6 out there? Wow, that got all the way down to 5? I mean, I feel great about my 6.5 now. I got 6.5 on MGM last night. You got a line shop, Eric. Line shop. Let me look right now and see if there's any 6s available.
We do the work so you don't have to.
Wow, there are not. Holy crap. We are seeing 4.5s painted across the board. Yo, Northern Kentucky. Let's go Norse. Yes, Eric. I would still play 5. I see the lone 5 at DraftKings. You're even laying 15 cents on it. Yeah, play the 5. Northern Kentucky outright. Just play it. Go half unit though, because 6.5 is a really good number. 5, obviously not as strong. I
know. Okay, let's get to your kick picks because I want to give out my hockey pick because it's a 1:00 game, which I didn't realize when I was betting it. I'm like, oh God, like I need to give this out.
Afternoon.
Let's take it across the pond though, really quick, and go to your EPL picks.
All right, so I'm in the boat of full disclosure. This is not going to help my brand in any way, but I'm going to reveal it because it is the truth. I have lost 13 consecutive EPL picks.
Well, you know what? When you hit rock bottom, Jared, there's only one way to go, and that is straight up.
13. So I did bet the Man U Leeds United match this morning. I didn't tweet it out because I was too scared that I would lose another one. The bet was Man United to win and over 1.5 goals. It is currently Man United 3-2 in the 75th minute. We are 15 minutes away from breaking my spell.
What you can't see behind the camera is the sweat that's pouring from Jared's forehead right now.
So I am going to, before knowing the outcome of this match, I'm going to give you the bet that I made for the 11:30 Eastern match that'll take place in about an hour from now.
Okay.
I have no analysis for it. I have no sharp.
At this point, you're like, screw it, I'm betting.
This is just firing off bets until this spell is finally broken. Wolves are at home facing Leicester City. I like Wolves. I like Bruno Lage, their manager. He's, I think, innovative. I think Wolves run a nice system. Other than that, I have no prior matches, analytics, any of that bullshit. Wolves win, parlay with under 3.5. It's plus 190. That's it. That's the bet.
Okay, perfect.
If you want to fade it, fine. If you want to tail it, good luck. That's the bet.
Okay, perfect. We're bringing it back to United States of America for our best bet of the day. Who we got on Pickswise.com?
Hold on. I need to refresh the page here.
He's all stressed out now. He's all stressed. I'm
way too invested in Lock Mamba has entered the chat.
Let's do it.
And he likes Wisconsin today.
Let's go.
Lock Mamba likes Wisconsin. Also, I know you're into this, and I think it's on my sports bucket list to attend a Kentucky Derby with you because I feel like your hat game is peak. Martin Pennington does have a 3-star bet for race 1 at Aqueduct today. I've been to the Aqueduct actually, the one in Queens area. It's actually it's actually a crap hole, but Martin Pennington does have a bet for race 1 today. So check it out. Pickswise.com.
Pickswise.com. Check it out. Make sure to do that. Okay. I'm talking about mine because mine's an NHL bet, and then
Go
you can
for it.
get into your final Horizon League game, and then we'll wrap it on up. I like the Hurricanes taking on the Penguins. I like the Pens 3-way money line at this spot at plus 120. It's two teams right now that are battling for the top spot in the Metro. There's not a ton of wiggle room. The top four teams right now are separated by 5 points. Carolina coming in off a home win, but they're better on home ice than they are on road ice. Right now, they're fifth in goals per game, fifth in the league in goals per game, 3.48, second in goals against, first in penalty killing, which is pretty impressive. But Penn's numbers kind of line up with them too. They're really good at home this season. They're 14-6-5 on home ice. They were on a four-game win streak before losing to the Leafs in their last game. They ranked fourth in goals against, good defense, second in penalty killing. I trust Tristan Jarry in this spot. It's not like a super intense handicap. I just have a really good feeling about the Pens on home ice. I trust just Tristan Jarry between the pipes, even though Carolina is one of the top teams in the league this season. So are the Pens, surprisingly, that no one really thought that they're good, but no one thought they would be as good as they are. I just trust them right now. On home ice, I like the value of plus 123 money line. Lock it in, baby. Let's go Pittsburgh Penguins.
I like this bet a lot because the Canes play tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. First half
and
back.
Yeah, that front end can be really tough. So the Canes play tomorrow against Philly, and Philly's not that good, but still the front ends can be a little tricky. So I do like that pick. All right, back to the Horizon League. We already gave you 3 picks in the Horizon League.
Why not have one more?
Gotta polish it off. Gotta go full. Best mascot name in college hoops. The Norse is up there with Northern Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
The Mastodons of Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne have to be near the top of that list.
What is a mastodon? I don't know.
It's like one of those woolly mammoths, I think, from the Cretaceous, Jurassic era.
Sick.
It's got like the tusks, right?
Yeah.
It's like a giant elephant, I think. I don't know.
Great.
Billikens is also one that we've discussed at length. But today it's the Mastodons as my best bet of the day. 16-9 against the number this year. They are a feisty bunch against the spread. They've won 6 straight. Their only ATS loss in that stretch was against Iwi-Piwi, and they were favored by 18. They won by 15. So number caught up with them. Today they are at Milwaukee, and we talked about Green Bay being like the worst team in college basketball, or at least in the Horizon League. I don't know what it is about teams from Wisconsin, but Milwaukee is right up there with Green Bay as one of the worst teams in the Horizon League and maybe one of the worst teams in college basketball. So they're playing a little better of late, which scares me a little bit. They've actually won 2 of their last 3, but they're still just 10-17 against the number this year. And they're coming off a 17-point loss to Cleveland State, who I would put on a similar level to this IPFW team, which is in the upper echelon of Horizon League teams. And the kryptonite for IPFW, the reason why this bet doesn't win today is because of turnovers, because IPFW does get a little sloppy with the basketball at times, but UWM is last in the Horizon League at forcing turnovers. So the kryptonite for the Mastodons, I don't think is going to be exploited by Milwaukee in this spot. So we're going with IPFW laying 3.5 at Milwaukee. Play of the day. It's Horizon League Sunday. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Let's go Mastodons, baby.
Mastodon.
I don't necessarily know what it is, but I'm rooting for him too, Jared. I'm just rooting
Giant elephants.
for him just for you. Just for you. That's it for us today. Find us on the Pickswise YouTube channel. Go to Pickswise.com. Follow us on Twitter. Jared Smith. I'm Lauren Jabara. No show tomorrow because of President's Day, but we'll see you on...
Oh, President's Day. Hey.
Let's go. But we'll see you Tuesday. So don't miss us too much. We'll see you in about 48 hours. Best of luck with your bets tonight, tomorrow. Let's get it. Let's bet it. Happy Sunday Fun Day.